By this point, we all know that Cyberpunk is about power struggles, capitalism, corporate greed, and it weaves a narrative that's both deeply personal and widely impactful. But I'm not here to talk about any of that. One theme that I believe is mostly overlooked when discussing Cyberpunk is about us, and one thing we have in common: our mortality.
Life is so beautifully powerful. So much more powerful than death.
The essence of Night City and the story we go through is truly one of life and death. It's a world that mirrors our own world and humanity's ceaseless quest for betterment. It helps that the developers have crafted something so deliberately beautiful but dystopian and immersive, not just in the environment but also in the ways we view the characters through subtle leg tappings or slight twitches and how we interact with them.
Wait. Just let me know how she's doing. Okay?
From very early on, it's pretty clear that mortality would be a recurring motif. The club you frequent is called the Afterlife, where death was the only way you could get a drink named after you.
What a beautiful tradition.
In fact, V, the main character, dies in the introduction. But a few minutes later, and thanks to some plot armor, V is alive, but with a catch.
And you? Who are you?
Deus Ex Machina. No, not that one, but quite literally the Latin translation of God in the Machine. Johnny Silverhand is God in the Machine. In the world of Cyberpunk, we build ourselves to essentially become an unstoppable machine, and Johnny Silverhand is technically immortal. Even as an engram, he has memories of his life, he's self-aware, and he can form new thoughts and ideas, regardless of if it's the original Johnny or not. That Johnny we interact with is a conscious being. One of the endings essentially shows us that he can be physically reincarnated, albeit in the body of V. In a world where everyone says it's good because it feels real, our main character is not realistic by any means. We take down cyberpsychos, we save the president, kill supervillains, and in some endings, single-handedly take down an entire corporation. All the while knowing V has an expiration date. The game's depiction of cybernetic enhancements as a means to achieve superhuman abilities and overcome mortality parallels the religious or the spiritual yearnings for a divine presence that offers salvation and transformation.
False promises, greed, a lust for power. Why, it sounds an awful lot like a church to... What? How dare you? Do you not promise a life after death? Do you not charge funeral fees to a family in mourning? Maybe the Reverend is just afraid of some healthy competition, huh?
Philosophically, this reflects transhumanist ideals, where technology is seen as a path to transcendence. The desire for Cyberpunk's world to be real taps into this longing for a reality where such transcendence is achievable. A miraculous solution that for us, and also in the game, is by definition Deus Ex Machina. It's all very unlikely, but we rationalize it to be possible. Well, because we want it to be possible. The game sets up Night City in an excellent fashion that feels possible, but it's more than likely not possible. The absurd advertisements, the ultra-violence happening around every corner, and the corporations recruiting their own armies and going to war, reflecting exaggerated versions of our own world. This would be like if Apple and Amazon quite literally had their own armies and engaged in ground combat from time to time with casualties. If you see this happening in the future, then maybe I'm wrong, but yes, the similarity to our world definitely adds to the immersion and makes Night City feel more real. But it's also possible that we just want these things to be real. What if we psychologically see this as a potential for a utopian future, if managed correctly? The advertisements you see aren't real, but we see the benefits in them being real. After all, technology is meant to improve our lives and make things more convenient for us. Night City is a place where utopia is so close due to its beauty and technological advancements, yet so far because of the corporate greed and violence. Cyberpunk is so good, not because it feels real, but again because we want it to be real. The game has fooled us into thinking it was the truth by using its beauty. As Delamain says,
"Truth and good are values proven to cause division, whereas beauty is universal."
it's peak science fiction and well-tuned escapism from our somewhat boring lives. It's a game that gives you the option to side with a revolutionary or run away from it all and become immortal. It's punk. We play video games and consume media so we can have experiences that would never be possible in real life. And in a very self-aware fashion, Cyberpunk even has a version of this with Braindance, a Ready Player One type device that lets us experience things as if they were real. We walk past these people using it all the time, oblivious to our presence. We may even shoot them in-game. But this isn't realistic, is it?